Good morning and welcome to Unity Spiritual Center, Port Richey. Our service will begin in just a moment. Service by lighting the Christ candle. Wow. I really like the candle. Hey, Linda. It calms down, I promise you. I promise you.
What happened to you?
Just make sure it stays lit, right? So, we light this candle as a symbol and a reminder to all of us that divine spirit is alive and lives in and through each and every one of us. Before we begin we ask that you come down and give $1 or $2. But before you do that, I would like to introduce, so when the music starts you can do that, but I'd like to introduce our guest today. So our guest today is Reverend Judith Elia.
She says it the Italian way.
I tried. It's
Elia.
Elia.
Is the New York version.
Okay. And she is an ordained unity minister serving diverse communities, and she's done this for over 30 years. She's traveled widely to study the spiritual teachers from Cambodia, China, India, Tibet, Turkey. She's been practicing and teaching mindfulness and meditation at schools, yoga centers, churches, and on Zoom, of course, with friends all over the world. She organizes conferences and events internationally for world peace, holistic medicine, and the spiritual unity of world's religion. She has recently returned to Florida, and after living through some of the largest and most devastating fires in California, sadly, in history. So she's returned here. She's grateful to be back in the Holy Land, as it's called, Florida. And so now, would you please, let's give a warm welcome to our guest speaker today, Reverend Judith. You have something you want to say about the music that's coming up?
Yeah, two things. One is, this is my gift for you. One of the things that we teach in Unity and in the world's religions that is happening right now is people focusing on being thankful, especially being thankful for the abundance of the fall. You know, there's lots of fall festivals going on. And so this is a 40-day challenge to be conscious of what you're grateful for every day. So take this home with you, and we can do it together and report back.
And the song, the opening song.
The song, I Am Alive, was written by Rabbi David Geller, and it starts with the sound of an ancient horn that they use in the Jewish tradition. And you have a picture, I think, on the video of this group of people that are in Woodstock, New York, that are beginning their sacred ceremony with the sound of the horn and the playing of the song by Rabbi David Zeller, who made his transition a few years back. But it's a beautiful song to remind us just of the gift of being alive, you know, right after a pandemic. You know, it's very simple. I'm alive, and who is it that's really living in me? And so
Great. So we're going to begin the video, and you can come down and place your money for the Feed the Hungry as our opening song plays. Beautiful. Thanks for picking that up for today. So, welcome again. I want to bring up our chaplain, Lorraine. Oh, I'm sorry. We have a variety of them today. Renee Dollar today.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. your prayer chaplain for today. The prayer box that I just put down, as you see, is always on the table in the foyer before the service. You may write down your requests on the slips provided in the front pew or in the prayer box. And there's also a sheet if you'd like to sign up for a call from one of the prayer chaplains. All prayer requests are treated with reverence and confidentiality and held in sacred prayer for 30 days both here and at silent unity. Prayer chaplains also calls are done monthly or as needed. There's a prayer chaplain available to you in the prayer center at the back of the sanctuary, both before and after the service. It is our joy to pray with you in either gratitude or celebration, or sorrow or concern. We encourage you to let us serve you. And for the daily word is balance today. I honor life's shifting rhythms. Sometimes trying to balance my schedule, meet my obligations, and even find time for things I enjoy can leave me scrambling to figure out how it will all fit in. Today I take my cue from nature and notice the rhythm of the seasons and the tides, the cycles of growth, and the order that underlies all things. I appreciate how seamlessly the natural world balances itself and restores itself to harmony. This gift of harmony and balance lies in me. I honor myself when I flow with it, and instead of forcing my will upon it. I listen to my body's many signals. I rest when I'm tired, eat when I'm hungry, and socialize and seek solitude as I need to. As I care for myself, I find balance. And from Ecclesiastes 8:15, for there is nothing better for people under the sun than to eat and to drink and enjoy themselves. And so it is.
Thank you so much, Renee. Again, I welcome you. Unity is a positive, practical path for spiritual living. We acknowledge all paths to God. Wherever you are on your spiritual path, you are welcome here. We trust that something today in the music, meditation, or the talk will uplift and inspire you. And if you are joining us on Facebook or YouTube, we welcome your presence as well. We would appreciate it if you would like us or subscribe. It makes it easier to find us, and it blesses us as well. So, again, I want to introduce our very, very special guest. And she's a special guest for lots of reasons, but she is our ministerial candidate. So she is going to present her lesson today, and then there will be a workshop after. So once again, let's welcome Reverend.
Thank you so much for your warm welcome. We're going to listen to a song now by Elia called I Am Light. And that song is going to help us to go into meditation. So it's something that you want to sing along. Our word for today is balance. And balance is one of the key elements of resilience, which we're all pretty much needing right now for everything that we've been through. You know, this resilience, regeneration, recharge from our isolation and all the negative messaging that we have been taking in for the last few years, and especially very intensely right now, and so many things going on in our world. So as you listen to Elia, and you can see the words are written right on the video, sing along, because that is regenerating. Charles Fillmore knew this. He said if people could resolutely sing a joy song, it could heal everything. So sing yourself into meditation. And if you don't know how to meditate or you're new to meditation, just make sure that your body is open and relaxed. That's the most 3 deep breaths, like we did in our opening little circle, actually opens yourself to neurogenesis. That's building of new brain cells. Just 3 deep breaths. So allow yourself to completely relax and let this soothe you into meditation. Then I'm going to lead you in a little bit more meditation, and then I'll do my lesson. Into a little time of meditation now. Whatever you're feeling, just feel it fully. What are you feeling in your heart? Your feet, your fingertips, your body. And if there are tears, let them come. The Lakotas say, those who cry pray twice. So we join together in the light, in the every breath in, we can use this affirmation, I am light. And with every breath out, we can send that light out into every cell and every atom of our own bodies and into the world, to the people, the places, and the things and situations that need to feel light. Breathing in, we imagine that beautiful sunlight, those images awakening us in our mind, illuminating every cell and every atom of our being, raising us up, illuminating, enlightening, enlivening, regenerating every part of us. I am light. And I send forth the light. Now, just for a few moments, sit together in the silence. Open and receptive to God's living spirit of truth right here and right now. We're listening, feeling, intuiting, contemplating this moment. Releasing on the exhale anything that no longer serves you. Feeling light. Taking some more deep breaths. Relaxing even more. And staying in this consciousness that we've cultivated in just a short amount of time. This light-filled awareness, this energy. Maybe you feel it in your fingers and toes, or maybe you just feel it in your heart and soul. Staying attuned to this. Just simply open your eyes. You can stretch or wiggle your fingers and toes and bring yourself back to this moment. So I hope I didn't scare anybody away by the word transfiguration. My friend Reverend Beth Head was telling me that she wanted to use some of the same things that I was going to say today, because we have a minister support group, and we talk about these things, and she said, but she was not going to use that word. But transfiguration is a moment in the life of Jesus and his disciples that is significant in our Bible. It's in 3 Gospels, and it's almost identically the same, which is very unusual for our scriptures. And it also comes at a time when he was addressing a lot of the world's problems. And when he said to his closest students and friends, what does it serve you if you have all the wealth of the world and all that the material world can offer you, but you lose your own soul? And it was a time when he called the 12 disciples, which metaphysically means that he brought these superpowers of all these different qualities of God into manifestation. You know, he called them up. He embodied them. And he took only 3 up the mountain with him. Now, one of the things that Jesus often did, talk about balance, was go away to Bethany to hang out with his friends, spend time with the people who were closest to him. And he also went up on the mountaintop and out in boats and prayed and rested. And that is a really important part of his teaching, that we have to go be apart for a while, even if it's 5 minutes. One of my teachers, Eileen Cady, of the Findhorn Foundation, she was the mystic that started the spiritual community I love in Scotland. And she could find no place of peace except the public bathrooms before sunrise. Because she had kids, and they were sharing these trailers with all these hippies from New York and people that came over to be helped by them in the spiritual community in the Upper Hebrides in Scotland. And so she would get up in the morning and go to the public bathrooms to pray. And the first thing she ever heard was, be still. Like, she heard an almost audible voice, be still and know. And she thought maybe she should check herself in. Yeah. She'd never heard an audible voice before, you know. And so the people that were around her said, well, you know, why don't you just wait and see what happens next, you know? Let's not take you and institutionalize you for the moment. You seem fine to us. And so she listened to a still small voice. And to this day, I listen to her guidance in a morning daily word. It's like a perpetual daily word. And it's still, after all these years, I think I've been doing this practice of listening to Eileen's finally printed guidance from her spiritual higher self for over 25 years, and it's still meaningful to me. So sometimes, you know, it doesn't matter where we go, but sometimes if we go apart, we can really hear some important wisdom from our own higher intelligence. And I call this transfiguration. And there's a researcher by the name of Sandra Ingerman who is scientifically measuring the effects of spiritual light. And I'll tell you more about that after I finish the story of the Transfiguration. So, in the Gospel of Luke, and in the Gospel of John, and in the Gospel of Mark and Matthew, you hardly ever find these stories in John. John's like this mystical, metaphysical interpretation of all the stories. But in the 17th chapter of Matthew, verses 1 through 9, in Mark, chapter 9, verses 2 through 8, and Luke, which is chapter 9 and verse 28 through 36, you hear the same story, that Peter, James, and John followed Jesus up the mountain. I want to read you a little bit of it, and then we'll talk about what it means. So 6 days after, Jesus told his disciples many things, and actually told Peter that he was going to reject him 3 times before the cock crows. When he called to him the disciples, and he taught them many things, he took 3 of them up the mountain with him. He took Peter, faith. He took James, discernment. And he took John, love. These 3 are so important to take and transfigure us. Because love, as we know, without discernment can be troublesome. And love without faith can be lost. So all 3 of these are essential to our spiritual journey. So when these 3 went up to the mountain with Jesus, he was transfigured before them. His face shone like the sun. His clothes became dazzling white, and suddenly there appeared on the mountain Moses and Elijah talking with Jesus. This is significant too, because the prophet Moses represents the law, the 10 Commandments, and the moral teachings that were the foundation of Jesus' Jewish religion. And Elijah was the prophet who was so zealous for God that he became violent. How many of you know the story of Elijah? It's a story that is really important, I think, right now. Because Elijah was the prophet who challenged the Baal priests to a duel. Like, if I can make a better fire than you can make, then my God's better than your God. I mean, literally, that is what he did. And then after he was able to make the biggest firepower, he killed all the Baal priests. So what happens when you do that? What happens when you use your spiritual power for violence like Hitler did? Then you have to run for your life, which is what happens in the story. Elijah realizes that, he kills all the Baal priests, which historically is the indigenous people's religion, the goddess tradition, the religions that worship the earth mother, and he has to run for his life from Jezebel. So he runs for his life. God's going to save Elijah because he's a great prophet. And God sends the wind and the rain and the thunder and the lightning. And Elijah's bereft. Elijah's like, well, I really thought I was doing the right thing. And God continues to send this message of no. That was not the correct thing. Until Elijah is able to hear the sound of sheer silence, the still small voice within himself. So we have to begin within. We can only have peace between us if we have peace within us. And we can only have peace among us if we have peace between us. So Elijah and Moses are very important to spiritual development. So what do you think the disciples want to do when they see Jesus talking to these great prophets of old? They say, hey, Jesus, maybe we should build a tent here. Maybe we should build a booth here. Maybe we should stay here, like forever, And the next thing we know, after this voice comes from heaven and says, just like during the baptism, it says, "Beloved Son, with you I am well pleased." And Jesus touched the disciples and he said, "Do not be afraid." Something he said often, because fear will kill us. Fear not. And when they looked up, they were gone. And then the next sentence is, "And as they were coming down the mountain." So I think the teaching is that when you illuminate, when you transfigure, when you regenerate, when you enlighten yourself, then it's not time necessarily to have a party. It's time to go and help in the valleys of life, those who need the light. So when we become illuminated on high through prayer and meditation and ancestral blessings and all those ways we know that we can become enlightened, these qualities have to be acted upon and integrated and embodied and shared. Every action can be a prayer and an act of service when we consciously devote ourselves to being love, like John, to being faith in action, like Peter. It's really not what we do at all. It's the inner attitude, the kindness, the peacefulness, the embodiment, because God shows up where we are. That's the only place. So Sandra Ingerman did this research, what she called research in transfiguration, where she placed toxic substance on the altar, and she tracked the pH in toxic water, and she placed people who were ill in the middle of people who she asked to bring forth the light through prayer and meditation of their choosing. They didn't have to be any particular religion or do any particular method. And she used a GDV camera, which I have no idea what that is, but I assume it's like a Kirlian photograph of the energy. She was able to capture images with this camera. And she also could measure through a machine she had the change in the energy field. And in every test, they have shown that light-filled awareness and illuminated people produce powerful, positive results in purifying water and in changing the pH and in healing people. And how did they measure healing people, you might ask? Blood oxygen level, heart rate, blood pressure. Isn't that amazing? But it isn't, is it? Because we've been doing this research through Silent Unity for over 135 years. We know it works. You are the light of the world. You are the living, breathing temple of the Holy Spirit. And you know, all the great prophets have said it. Buddha said it before Jesus. Krishna said it before Buddha. In their scriptures it says, "You are the light of the world, humans. Shine your light." And Jesus went forth and said, "Don't hide it under a bushel. Let it shine so bright that it can be seen from the heavenly realm." So let's say together, "I am the light of the world." Say that to yourself. I am the light of the world. That is my only function. That is my only function. That is why I am here. That's actually a Course in Miracles quote that Charlie Tweet sings, like, I am the light of the world. Have you ever heard that song? That is my only function, right from years ago. That is why I am here. I love Charlie Tweet. I love those kinds of songs that, you can sing that are simple, that get into your mind and they reverberate over and over again, right? Because that's what we want, instead of what we get from our media, what we get most of the time, right? So say that to yourself, really intentionally. I am the light of the world. That is my only function. That is why I am here. In the very beginning, in the first chapter of Genesis, God said, let there be light. And you were born.
Aw.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You're so enthusiastic and it's very inspiring. So thank you so much. Right, guys? Right? So I want to thank everybody else that was here today, our chaplains, Gail, Jeremiah, the ushers, and the greeters. I also like to thank our chaplains for being available for you after service. So if you have something you'd like to talk about, they're back in that corner over there. They'd be happy to assist you. So I have a few announcements, nothing major. So she does have we call it a workshop?
Yeah, we're going to do a Q&A.
And I'll do a little bit of whatever it is that we decide we want to do. But basically, we're going to connect, and I'm going to share some things. We're going to do some drumming, and just have some fun for an hour after the service.
Okay. All right. So make sure you stay for that. Next week we have Dieter Randolph. We've had him before. He's wonderful. So he'll be back. Yay. I send a newsletter out weekly. If you're not receiving that, I ask that you fill out the yellow card in the pew in front of you. You can place that in the offertory basket as it goes by. Just put your email on there. We can add you so you'll get updated weekly. Is there anyone here that's for the first time? Anyone new here today? Yay! Yay! Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. She has a little information packet for you. We appreciate you being present with us today. That also has a yellow card in it if you'd like to fill it out. Just let us know your email. We can send you that. Okay, so it is the 1st of November. So we ask if you have a birthday in November, please stand up so we can recognize you. We're going to sing happy birthday to you. Come on. I see 1, 2, 3. All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friends. Happy birthday to you. God's blessing you now. God's blessing you now. God's blessing you always. God's blessing you now. Happy birthday, guys. Before I ask ushers to come down, I would like to say that because she is our ministerial candidate, there are some forms in the lobby that I ask you as soon as the service is over. I'll be out there. I can give those to you. It's something I'd like for you to fill out. The board would like you to fill out, and I'll be collecting those as well. Just take your minutes. Nothing too long or detailed. So I want to make sure that there's 2 separate piles out there. So you guys take a look at that and then give it back to us. Okay, back at the ushers, we're going to have our offering. If you join me in the offertory affirmation, In deep gratitude, I give way to the limitless flow of prospering substance. I am blessed with all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and the blessings are multiplied. Thank you, God. Truly blessed. Would you like to bless our offertory?
So we join together in gratitude for all the gifts that we've received today in music, inspiration, and in all of these generous funds. And we ask that the board and the leadership of our church be guided and directed for their highest use, and that everyone here today know that as we give, so we receive, and are filled with prosperity and generosity. Thank you, God. Amen.
I want to thank all of you for coming out and participating in our service today. It would be kind of useless for us to be here if you didn't come and join us. So thank you for being here. And now join us in the peace song.
Protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Happy Sunday, everyone.